Greetings from the two of us. I am Russ Hatfield, along with my higher dimensional twin soul named Kara, who is a member of Ashtar Command. The editorial for this month draws from science fiction to provide an analogy to psychic skills. We call it Starship Shielding versus Mental Shielding. For a full transcript of today's editorial, please go to our main homepage at HadesBaseNews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on our YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. Now, we present Starship Shielding versus Mental Shielding. Science fiction aficionados are familiar with the concept of the shielding needed to protect spaceships when traveling interstellar distances. In a similar way, humans require mental shielding when going through the daily process of living. This analogy came about while finishing up a Star Trek episode before moving on to generating a transcript of this month's challenge session. So this is a companion editorial to the lessons provided by Corton to us back in 1992 and now posted on our website in this month's challenge session. The concept of mental shielding is not given enough credit for how it can actually improve a person's life. We now look to science fiction to help demonstrate the importance it provides. The ships of the fictional universes of Star Trek operate several levels of shielding when traversing space and prevent even the smallest particles from penetrating the ship's exterior. The force fields generated by the deflector shields allow a ship at warp to deflect those objects. We hear of navigational shields in one episode that would seem to cut out solar radiation and dust particles. Beyond that are shields for defense against energy and photon attacks, as well as anything bigger that might interact with a moving ship. Later episodes where we hear of things like multiphasic shielding, regenerative shielding, unimatrix shielding, depending on the series. Ship composites also play a part in determining how strong a hull of a ship would keep the crew inside safe. In a similar way, the mental shielding available to the ordinary person has levels to handle any situation. What do we mean when we use the term mental shielding? It is basically the strengthening and adding of energy fields to the human aura through visualization, which allows a person to block out the negative energies and influences surrounding everyone. A person's mental well-being is like the hull of a spacecraft, which means it can be either weak or strong depending on the person. Lightworkers tend to already have that inner strength, and so mental shielding helps maintain that strength when under pressure or attack. By that we mean coercive pressure that might be directed by people such as with salesmen and politicians. It may not be directed at the person themselves, but they can negate those influences with basic mental shielding. What that shielding discussed in the challenge session covers are major psychic attacks directed at the person by others either knowingly or unknowingly. The shielding discussed by Corton in the challenge session is called stacked and static shielding. This would be similar to adding multiphasic shielding to the regular shielding of a starship. Stacked shielding is simply adding one or more domes over a person's normal shields while the attack is felt until the feeling dissipates. That should be enough of a defense against a single assailant knowledgeable in penetrating shields. Multiple domes protect against a combined effort of a group of people in a meta-concert, but we then have to discuss static shielding. That is where the outermost dome is given a covering on top of it of static, as we would see on a TV channel with no signal. Basic shielding practiced enough becomes automatic, making the saving of a person's energy within the shields relatively easy. Taking it to the next level is where Corton takes us with this month's shielding dissertation. In love, light, and wisdom as one, Russ and Kara.